Inside the palace, King Thanatos sits on his throne and watches Changxian. Thanatos asked if Changxian is the so-called Twilight of God. He told him that he will be the first to ask, if Changxian will continue to live on earth, where do you think he will go after death? Changxian closed his eyes and said that he didn't know, because he had never thought of such things before. Thanatos spoke. He said he will go to hell. Changxian stared and wondered and asked what would be the reason for him to go to hell. Thanatos revealed that when he was still alive on Earth on June 21, 2024, during his time as a gamer, because of his teammate's mistake in the game, Changxian cursed non-stop until his teammate cried. Thanatos asked Yul what punishment a person would receive for such incidents. Yul replied that the punishment that can be given is the cutting of the tongue repeatedly within 15 days. Thanatos raised his hand, now announcing his punishment. Thanatos began to describe Changxian's sins while still alive on Earth. Changxian gets annoyed and starts yelling and asking what all this means. Thanatos stared at him and said that it was just a joke. Thanatos added that Changxian lived a relatively normal life on Earth. Anyway, when he came to Arcadia, he almost transformed into an almost different person. He fought like a madman every day and he killed so many gods that it is difficult to count the number of them all. Still not understanding the purpose, Changyan once again asked the leader of the underworld Thanatos why he saved him. Finally Thanatos gives his reason: he wants Changxian to do a little work for him. Seeing Changxian's confused reaction, Thanatos explained his words: the gods recently broke their holy oath and contacted humans directly. What he wants Changxian to do is go to the human world in his stead and shut down these gods. Hearing this, Changxian was shocked and asked if Thanatos planned to revive him. Thanatos laughed and said in other words he was just bringing Changxian back to where he came from. Thanatos raised his hand and the image of the galaxy appeared. He released the planets that had life in their world. Changxian was surprised to see the image of planet Earth. Thanatos joked that he didn't expect the madman called Twilight of God who lived to kill gods to be able to smile. Changxian replied that this is his home that he hasn't seen for a long time. Thanatos boasted that Changxian might pass out from what he will show next. The image of the earth gradually came closer until a city was seen. On the road there was a person walking, and when I looked at it, it looked like Changxian. Sweat broke out on Changxian's forehead and he couldn't believe what he saw. Thanatos conveys that the place he showed is the place Changxian will go to. He reminds Changxian that when he comes to Earth he should focus on slaying the gods who have interacted with humans. This is the punishment and mission that Changxian has to fulfill when he returns to Earth. Changxian asks what is the reason why Thanatos gave him the chance to live again when there are many gods imprisoned in the underworld that he can use. Thanatos answered this, saying that Changxian was the only one he saw capable of challenging the gods. Like divine beings in different worlds like Ahura, Deva and Chen of Arcadia. Changxian asked what they did on Earth. Thanatos explained that the dungeon breaks that appeared on Earth were made by the gods to upset the balance of the world. Changxian asked if the divine beings were tired of taking over the Earth. Thanatos confirmed this and said that they are gradually working on it. Changxian asked in conscience why the underworld doesn't focus on this directly if they know the plans of other gods. Thanatos puts his chin up and says that the gods are abusing the loophole in their so-called oath. He explained that gods like him had no right to interfere in the affairs of Earth. But if a person takes action himself, the underworld can do nothing but allow it because it is not covered by their sworn oath. So the gods communicate directly with people to give them power in exchange for their service. Changxian smiled and said that Thanatos wanted him to catch the gods like a dog and then kill him. Thanatos points his finger up and says that won't happen. When Changxian completes his mission, he will remove the divine sealing steels that clothe Changxian and give him a new life as a reward. Changxian looked at the divine sealing steels around him and wondered if he would do this. When Thanatos saw that Changxian was still not convinced of his plan, he proposed a new agreement. In exchange for Changxian's sealing to the gods, he will give Reto a gift. Changxian asks what gift the king will give. Thanatos happily says that he will give Changxian the power of authority. Changxian was interested in this gift, so he asked if it was not against the laws of the underworld. Thanatos boasted that he was the king of the underworld, so no matter what he did no one could oppose it. Changxian can also think that this is a gift from the ruler of the underworld. Changxian's face changed and he said that if that was the reward he would get, he had no reason to refuse Thanatos' offer. Thanatos happily stood up and took out a long paper confirming their agreement. He shouted that he will start bringing Changxian back to Earth to fulfill his mission. He instructed Yule to open the door of the resurrection. Changxian happily complied.